rocking with the hitman, DJ PHAT KAT.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of I Am All I Am. I'm your host, the hitman, DJ PHAT KAT, and here's my co-host. And
Queen B.
this is my co-host. There you go.
Hello.
there's a little audio delay, so yeah. I probably should do like that, and then you'll know. All right, so tonight we're gonna get started with a couple of topics that we
Yeah, I think
decided. Huh? Yeah, you're okay. So
it's
tonight we're
delay.
gonna get started. Yeah, it is a delay.
Okay.
So tonight we'll get started on the topics that we picked out, and we picked out some topics that were based on uh, the affirmations that she often sends to me in the morning, and I read them, and I think, oh, that's a good idea, and I would love for everybody to get a piece of that and feel, the vibe. And so I thought it would be a good idea to use some of those affirmations to start out the topics tonight. So the first topic we're going to cover has to do with family. And I think that's a good foundation because family is supposed to be the foundation of all people. So we'll start with the first affirmation. And I say affirmation, but it's more of I guess, an assessment of taking of one's life. In this case, it says, family isn't always blood. It's the people in your life who you want. It's the people in your life who want you in theirs, and the ones who accept you for who you are, the ones who would do anything to see you smile, and who love you no matter what. So I'm gonna turn it over to Queen B, and we're gonna start first. Let you give a little insight as to that statement, and then I'll give a little insight, and then we can move on to the next one. Or we can go in between. We can go piggyback off each other. The delay is the problem, but we'll work around it.
Okay. Okay. Um. Family to me is, just doesn't have a lot of friends that I consider to be family. Um. Could be that neighbor. Family could be like you for. Family doesn't necessarily have to be somebody that comes from father. It's just somebody that embraces you and you share that same energy there. Like it might be one day when I'm down and I could call on you and you pick me up, or one day you're down and I could call on you and I pick you up. I think it goes back to saying that it takes a village. So family and everybody their role they do, and I think that's what's missing today. Somebody as being somebody that the same, but you gotta, we're all family. We might be an extended of family. So we gotta stop necessarily family is just mother, father, sister, brother, or somebody that's right there. Family. Family is a state of mindset. And I'm gonna turn it back over to you.
Yeah, I'm getting my audio is really shot, and I thought taking out my plug would help, but it's not giving me what I want. Now we're hearing each other as far as the audience can hear us, but I'm needing to hear you as well. So I can't respond necessarily, but I can speak free flowing. If you can hear me, I'll put up a finger because I can. If you can hear me, you would do that. Put up a
You
finger,
can't
let
hear
me
me?
know. See, I'm getting an audio resistance there. Yeah, it's not. Okay. Yeah. So
That's
we're
odd
getting,
because you loud.
you're hearing me, but it's just really delayed. It's extremely delayed. That's what it is. Yeah. So, um, you go ahead and give yours, and when you are done, just hold up a finger, and then I'll give mine, and then we can still kind of go, or we got to go off and then turn back on.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So I'll get you go.
I just finished.
Yeah, I'm
It's
not getting.
your turn.
We're gonna come in and come back out.
You gonna log off and come back?
I'm gonna go off air and come back on because I don't have any audio for you. Don't know if you can hear that.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so you say I hear you, and I see you. Okay, well then we can keep going, I guess. I mean, maybe your audio will come back in. Hopefully, it will come back in on my side because I can't hear you at all. I don't know whether I'll take this out. I'll go with that. See if that will help. So you can go ahead and speak, but I can't hear you. Yeah, see, it's not. I can't hear you, so I can't do much with that.
Wow.
Let's see. Yeah.
Go out
Let
and
me
come
go
back
out and
in.
come back in. It just makes sense because we're still early. It's only 7 minutes, so let me cut off and cut back on. It's the only thing I can do. Or else I'll be sitting here like
Okay.
hands tied.
You log out too.
You can hear me though, right? Let me send you a text. Hold on.
Okay.
You can hear me. I hate that. Yeah. I have no sound. I have zero sound. Okay. No sound. Okay, so we'll try this one more time. Oops. Hit your microphone off and then back on. Let's just see if that helps. Let's see if it can go on. Hmm. We're gonna go off and come back on.
Okay. Hear me now?
Oh, now I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Okay. So we can start from the top as far as the conversation is concerned. If you want to go there, that's fine. You want me to reread the topic?
That's fine. Whatever you want to do.
All right, cool. And we apologize for
No,
that delay, but
not
hopefully
unless you
we.
want to.
No, I'm okay with the. I didn't read the whole topic, so did you want to just because you probably started into it, right? And I don't know what you said, but I probably was good. I'm gonna read it again just for the reiterate. Family isn't always blood. All right.
Okay.
Family isn't always blood. It's the people in your life who you want to be there, and the ones who accept you for who you are, and the ones who would do anything to see you smile, and who love you no matter what. Now, I do recall you saying at least some part that, a person such as myself, you also would consider a family because of the fact that we have a special relationship. So going off of that springboard, continue off from there.
I also said that family doesn't necessarily have to be. It doesn't have to be your immediate mother, father, sister. It could be you feel close to. It could be your best sibling family. And I also spoke on how when you go back to that quote that says it takes a village, and in that village, they consider kids that everybody is being mom because it just didn't take that mother to any female in that village that saw that child doing something that they were supposed to do. They
Right.
corrected them. So family, it also means extended family, father, sister. It's just you know that need up or whatever you want to consider. I consider my dog to treat me like a child. So you know, family could be anything you want. Family, that's energy too. So
Absolutely. And I think you said it perfectly when you talked about the children in particular, because you have to have a sort of a fortress around the kids nowadays, because there's so much that's, pulling them in different directions that, you got to be able to protect them. And, it starts with us as adults, if they see us showing, fellowship and kinship, they're going to, follow suit. They should, pick up that same feeling and know how to treat other people the same way. I mean, I recall growing up in my neighborhood, I can say for sure the parents, were, together were like everybody's parents. And even like some of the, like I said, the brothers, oh, sorry, the sons and daughters of those parents, they also were protective of the younger kids in the neighborhood, which is what I meant by like it going down from the parents until the kids. So I feel the same way. There's like a lot of people that I look at and I know we're not connected by blood, but we have a shared same understanding and caring and respect for one another that I can consider family, you know? So that's for sure. And I think that, a lot of that, it needs to happen more often, around where we at. Like everybody's just so individualistic that a lot of times that falls by the wayside. Like, people is like, in survival of the fittest mode, crab stepping on crabs mentality, and a lot of that backbiting and stuff like that. And if anything, this time that we're in right now, with all the race relations and all that stuff, if nothing else has gotten you closer to people that are, you know, that you consider like family members, it should now, because there's a lot of stuff that's up against you right now. A lot of stuff. You know, you can continue on. I just kind of felt a little inspiration, get some motivation.
yeah, I have to agree that with everything that's going on now, family more so than ever. However, I don't jump on that victim mentality. We got to let that go because if you keep dwelling on the past, you people keep bringing up the fact that the racism can't keep using that crutch. We can't back because you're not going to change a racist. And my purpose here is not to racist. Um, Nobody is supreme over me. I don't get into this white supremacy concept because nobody's superior to me. The only person that's superior to me is my higher self. So I see a lot of that going on in our community, that everybody's dwelling on racism. Well, you're dwelling on a lower level value that these people that had our ancestors still have us in chains because we can't break that mindset. We got to get to the point now where we know holding us back. Ain't no, the only thing holding is you. Ain't
Absolutely.
nobody holding you back.
Bring your audio down a little
Stuff
bit.
you got to back up and say, you got to back up and say, why is this happening?
Yeah.
Because according to universal code, if you're saying that I'm a victim, you from a past life or whatever. The bottom line is we have to drop that victim mentality. It is the most major divide in the United States today. People try to say, this person, it's your mindset. Once you get to the point where you truly know who you are, you don't know yourself and seek self-improvement. And then you're going to be all right. As long as we're holding on to the past, you can't move forward in the future. That's just my 2 cents on it.
Yeah. I don't want nobody to be like you said, having I think I call it a slave mentality. Like sometimes I will hear conversations or at least talk to some of the elders, and they will say, "You know why such and such happened, right?" And be like, "Why is that?" And then they'll turn quietly and do this, like they can't say, they can't even speak. Like I'm like, Master ain't here over your shoulder, right? You doing like this. I'm like, I say that I'm saying it jokingly, but I seriously have seen and had conversation where people act like that. So to me, that's slave mentality. Like you really
Yes.
think you have to whisper what you say? You really think you have to be curled over and hurled over and huddled up and not speaking too loud? And you know, I was in like an open, I guess it was a department store or something, and I've been just being myself. And I say this all the time. The easiest thing that I could tell people about what where they should be in their life is just be yourself. You just be yourself. And yourself should take you where you gotta go. I'm not trying to be like you, you're not trying to be like me. Just be yourself. So if you're in an environment where you feel you have to alter yourself, or you feel you have to correct yourself each step you take and make, then you're not really being your true self. So it makes it hard for you to even have a firm footing underneath you because you're not even sure of who you are. So my thing is as simple as I can say: be yourself. Be yourself. I remember a quote, or not a quote, but a statement from Jay-Z. He said, "Every time I walk into the room, I walk in as myself." It sounds like a weird statement, but it's true. I'm not going in here trying to put on airs for anybody. I'm not going in here trying to pretend I'm someone that I'm not. I'm not going in here trying to impress anyone. I'm just going in here myself. You accept me for who I am. We're okay. We're okay. I'm not trying to put on a stage or anything like that. So when you talk about that family thing and how um, I think everybody needs support. Because when I think of my family, I think of that as a support network. So whether it's a friend or it's a brother, sister, or something in between, it's a support network of people that will maybe give you advice, maybe guide you, maybe uplift you, maybe just embrace you in a time of sorrow. So that's how I look at that family system. It's the go-to when I'm feeling at my lows, but it's also the go-to when I'm feeling at my highs. Because when I want to celebrate, I'm also gonna call the family and say, "Hey, it's a good day. Let's do this. Let's get together. Let's cook. Let's eat. Let's drink. Let's speak. Whatever the case may be. Let's do a drum ceremony." So it's like an all-inclusive package, like when you go to a resort. It has so many facets to it that um, It depends on how you use family. You know what I'm trying to say? So for me, it's about all of those things I just mentioned. When I think of that word, that's what I turn to them for. How about you?
About the same. My I'm always the one that other people turn to for support. Like a prime example, yesterday was my birthday. So video. I'm like, what video are y'all want? And it was some sisters at Martin Luther King's birthday, this Black Lives Matter group, and they were twerking. I mean, red, white, and blue shorts twerking. And everybody wanted to know how I felt about that. I said, well, first of all, it's very disrespectful. Not judging the people. It was very disrespectful. I say, but I don't understand why you felt to show me that because you know I'm at that level. But they confused as to what group of people go out and do something like that. I said, well, you would have, I don't know. And I think a lot of that comes from people lack self-respect nowadays. Um, People have not somebody, but self. You gotta love and know who you are because when you don't, you thrive for attention. And sometimes when people thrive for, they do stuff and not really realizing what they're doing, or implant things in their head because the ability to think for yourself is gone. Not said everybody, but when I see group think, that's scary. It is really scary. People can't think for themselves in today's society. I see Facebook saying, I'm a king, I'm a goddess, I'm an empress. And then 5 posts later, they're saying, I did this and the white man did this. But when have you ever seen a God come out and say somebody control over them? Because the only person that has control, I think we need self and self-love. Because once you get that and you know who you truly, all this other stuff is, you gotta know when to say, if it don't love me, then it don't. People don't understand a lot. I always say, if it don't lift me up, then it don't have nothing to do with me. I'm not that mind's eye to what's happening in society today, but I'm not going to be distracted by what other people. That's just how I am, though.
Staying focused, staying on point.
I guess I was supposed to do like this.
No, I can hear you much better
Right.
now. It's going pretty good. But staying on focus, staying on target, staying on the mission. You know, Marines, we stay on the mission. We should have
Right.
instead of the bulldog being the mascot, we should have the pit bull because they stay on mission.
Agreed.
You heard me? Yeah, because they like my dog.
Matter
He
of fact,
like
this is the first day of Marine Corps head.
like a dog stay on point no matter what. They stay right where they focus, focus, focus. That's what the pit bull does. You can't get them off target. Um, so yeah, that was
Mm-mm.
very insightful. I'm gonna take on the next uh, inspirational thought, and it goes like this: should you ever find yourself the victim of other people, bitterness, smallness, insecurities, remember things could be worse. You could be them. I had to laugh. I was like, yeah, that's true. Because you never even think about the people that are throwing all that dirt. They must be going through it. They really must be going through it. You know? And if anything, now you can probably have a little bit of sympathy, if you will. Because obviously, if your light shining, you bright, you shining bright like a diamond. and they feel the need to try to drag you down and under the water, and because their day is not going the way it should be going. So I agree with you there. I agree 1,000% with that quote. What's your thought on that quote? You sent it out to me, but I want to see what was you thinking, and what's the idea behind that one? I like that one. Well, I like them all, but this one made me laugh.
That one, it goes back into what I just said. If it don't involve me, then it don't involve me. A lot of
Yeah.
times people are angry. They don't like seeing, if they see somebody, you're gonna be challenged, you know. But I'm like, people pull you into their your peace. Once you learn how to do that, then life is a lot. But too many times a day, people get angry and they want you to be angry with them. I'm like, look, that's your issue. You know, I could try to solutions. We could try to work it, but I'm not going to get. I'm not going to get sad. I'm not going to let my emotions be dependent on you know. That's what we got to get away from. Back to what I said earlier, that group mentality, that group thing. Everybody want to be mad, but nobody really mad at. I come in the house and you mad, you got a bad attitude, and then I'm gonna get an attitude, your attitude. But see, you gotta protect your peace, you know, and that's what I tell people today. It's all about your peace. Just because you gotta have it, you know, get your sunshine or get the hell away from them. But don't
Mm.
stand there and let somebody else make you miserable because they're miserable. You know, like I said, don't let nobody pull you into the storm. You pull them into your peace. Somebody is interfering with your peace. You got to know when to say it and walk away. And there's nothing wrong with that. That is fine. And it don't matter who it is, mama, father, sister, brother. It's your peace. Now, I'm not saying because this mess that we see today with families being not speaking to each other and all that, that's it's crazy. It is really crazy. But at the same time, if they're at that point for a couple of days or get the room or just get to a point like people are being negative, I could just turn like, you know what? Mm, I ain't got time for this. And I just turn them off. I do it respect. I'm not letting anybody disturb my peace. So I think me that's really important because I know emotion, and I know that emotions what disease processes. If you're hateful all the time, you're mad all the time. Okay, most of those they have high blood pressure. Most of the people that are evil and just mean, just arbitrary acts have high blood pressure, or they got liver problems. You know, so you laugh at this. You gotta
It's true.
remember how emotions affect your health. You know,
True.
when I or if I feel myself getting angry, it's I'm like, okay, let me calm down, you know, because I'm so in tune with my body when I could tell is not in homeostasis, you know, and something is not right. And I had to feel like, you know, and people learning nobody has power over you unless you give them power over you. And the only person that control you,
Yeah. Your audio goes in and out, so I'm saying if you, yeah, I agree with you. I thought when you said that about people taking you out of your peace or your comfort zone, there was a saying I picked up along the way. And it was somebody else's saying, but he said, "I don't let nobody rent no space in my head." And I was like, you know what? I like that. I'm gonna take that. It is like, that's me. I don't let nobody rent no space in my head. Not at all. Even the point is, I don't even get people up and around me to get to the point that they can think that they could rent space in my head. There's not even a circle available for them to even get within. So they are so far removed that I can't really say the last time I had to deal with a situation of that nature. In real honest to goodness truth. And I do that with, the best of intentions. I mean, I want you to be at peace. I want me to be at peace. And if peace means you got to be in your circle and I have to be in my circle and they're not overlapping, so be it. I look at it like this: how much of what I do is dependent on you, the other person? I asked them. You don't pay my bills. You don't feed me. You don't do anything that has to do with me. So why do I have to even tolerate you into my circle or my existence? I even think about it a step further. A lot of times we tolerate people like at a job because we have to work at that job. We tolerate a boss because we got to get a paycheck. We tolerate some other people in other walks of our life because there's something that we have in common. I just eliminate or minimize the amount of commonalities that I have when it comes to people that I don't want to be in the same circle with. Like I hardly want to come into contact with you. So I take that definition and apply it across the board. If it's a type of person or persons that I'm not really feeling, we're not gonna come into much contact. We're gonna be on the other side of the street when I'm walking, or we're gonna be, because I don't even need anything from you. So why are we even talking? Why are you even talking to me? What is this conversation about? That's my thought. So I don't really have a lot of those people coming around me. And I always have a little bit of extra ammunition just in case I have to read them their rights. I'll be having it and I'll be loaded and ready to go. I never have to pull the trigger. I never have to hardly pull the trigger. Like, this is a crazy thing. When I'm jogging, I might have my shades on. I might have my earphone with my music, and I'm walking my dog. If I want to talk to you, I might wave. I might wave. It depends on if I want to wave. My neighborhood is a wave neighborhood. Like, the older people, they just wave when they go walking by and wave and wave. So I call it the wave neighborhood. It's predominantly Caucasian here. Some are from the north, some are from the south, but everybody likes to wave, and that's why we get along. Some people want to have a conversation. I always ask them. I ask myself, is it necessary? Is it necessary to have the conversation? I'm not being antisocial. I'm just trying to see how our circles overlap, if they overlap at all. And if we have zero in common, do not give me a fake conversation just to have a conversation, because I'm not into wasting my words. My words are precious. If I have to charge you by the hour, you're going to understand my words are precious. So I don't have unnecessary conversations. And that's how I minimize or eliminate a lot of the BS from a lot of people. And then I attract the most intelligent people, the ones of the higher thinking, ones that have consciousness on my level. And then we can have the right conversations because we're in the right circle. That's my theory. What about you?
I'm a little bit different though, because I'll talk to I think one of those personalities or that energy where people are just drawn to me. People just come from nowhere and start telling me their problems. I think in a past life I must have been a psychologist because tell me their problems. And I think in today's society, a lot of people say anything, they just want you to listen. I have mastered listening. Listen, sometimes you gotta say, you know what, you just answered, you just came up with the issue of how to solve the problem. So I'm a person. I'm dealing with people. I'm learning that you have to meet people on their level of consciousness. Sad to watch the conscious community because with the conscious be a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs now too. And even with the community, conscious just means so basically everybody's part of the conscious community. So if somebody, I mean, I would love living in your neighborhood because I wait to every who you are. You walk by me, I'm gonna say, "How you doing?" Um, I'm gonna greet you when you walk by me. I'm gonna say to myself, "In love," or "Bless you." I know what "bless you" really mean, but everybody's not on that level of consciousness, so it's okay to say "bless you." I know certain people, but I'm kind of one of those people when I post in the morning, I'm sending out. That's what I'm doing. I don't care when people are negative to me. I always say, you know what? I'm still. I'm not stooping down to your level. And I love even people that have conversations that we think crazy. If you really, really listen, a lot of times they just need somebody truly listen without being judgmental. I don't really. I mean, you would have to say something really, really crazy to me for me to say. And I love people. That's why I don't like all this thing that's going on nowadays. People saying it's our time. Take this back. We will take that back. I'm like, the land don't belong to nobody to take. But I'm just not with division, separation, and because when you get down to it, we're all energy, and energy
Yeah.
doesn't have no color. I don't know where this black, this white, and all
Right.
this came from, but
Right. I tend to agree with you on some of that. The matter of definitely energy is not a black or white thing. I know that for a fact because you could get just as much nonsense from a black person as you can get from someone who's not a black person. So I know it's not based in color when it comes to energy. And I'm a vibe person, and I like. There was that time that I will share with you that I was on the bus. I think we were talking about before. I was on the bus and the guy started talking a lot about his what was going on, and I felt like he needed a psychologist and to listen to him. And I had the same thing. A lot of people would come to me, and they still do, and try to talk to me about whatever's going on in their mind, which I don't reject them. I understand them. I don't reject them. I look at the people who are trying to have a false conversation, and like again, when it comes to that energy and that feeling of insincerity, I mean, I'm gonna like listen, but I'm gonna be very reserved. I'm thinking, is this real or is this Memorex?
yeah.
So if I feel energy like you really about that bull, then I'm gonna try to dismiss you in the most kindest of ways. Like if I feel there's somebody who's in need of help, then I can feel the energy to try to elaborate and speak with them. But I'm not going to entertain a lot of my time, which again, I value my time wholeheartedly. I mean, they always say, well, I'm whatever age and I have more time behind me than I have in front of me when it comes to the predictable years on earth. It ain't even just that. I was always the kind of person, even as a younger person, that I didn't like people wasting my time. And when I say that, I say it to say I could be doing something else with this time. And I don't like when people do that. And then again, if people have ulterior motives, if they have a lot of ulterior motives behind their approaching me, well, they approach me saying one thing, but they're really about something else, and they think I can't discern that. Now you're just play with my intelligence, and you're wasting my time. That's two no nos. So again, I try to get through things in an efficient manner, and there's times where I know I need to stop and check, and I do that. But I also realize when I don't want to waste my time on something that is a waste of time. Like for example, you could be trying to tell somebody how, you know, something could be a good idea for them, or something could be good for their health, but you trying to beat it through their head. No, I'm not gonna try to beat it through their head. I've said it, I've explained it. That's it. I'm not gonna try to overdo it. I'm not gonna try to, force you to accept what I'm telling you. I'm just gonna keep it moving. You do what works for you, I do what works for me, and together we're all happy. But again, I've been through that. When you said about the people would walk up to you and talk about, a lot of things, and you felt like you was like their therapist. I can relate to that. I've gone through it a couple of times. I'm still open for business. I'm still open for business if somebody needs some therapy. But time is precious. Uh, okay, so we're gonna come on to the next subject matter. We got another one coming straight out of the barrel, straight out of the shotgun. Here it goes. As I got older, I
Uh-oh.
started to cut out food, and it's a part. It's a segue right into what I was talking about. As I got older, I started to cut out food that was bad for me, and as I got wiser, I did the same with people. Case in point. That's why I said what I said. Go on. I'm gonna let you jump on that one. I'll come back later. I'm not wasting no time with nobody.
Yeah,
I ain't doing
that's
all
my
that.
favorite one. So we're gonna talk about the food first.
Okay, go ahead.
I was gonna give an idea for a show too about food because I've been posting plant-based food because a lot of people think, and I don't really say I'm a vegan because I don't like titles.
Right.
When you put a title, it kind of puts you in a box. I'm doing this plant keto, and a lot of people say it's hard. So I've been putting recipes up to show people that it's hard. But the part that said, as I got wiser, I changed food. Well, years ago, I gave up pork for whatever reason. And then a couple of years after that, I gave up beef. Then after that, I did chicken, fish, and turkey for about 10 years. I've been beef for about 6 years now. Yeah, about 6 years now. For me, everybody in my family has diabetes, high blood pressure. I don't have any of those problems. None of them. I take no meds. I take is vitamin C, vitamin. Um, 58 years old. Um, no health problems. Is when the way I got to where I am now is because I changed the way um I still have periods cookies or I might eat donuts and stuff like that. When I do that, I know that I have to detox and get it back out. Or I work out every day, 6 days a week. Every morning at 6 o'clock, I'm out walking as a day. So I do everything that I need to do to keep my body right, to be healthy. To me, healthy means to heal thyself. So I do everything that I can to stay healthy. Now, as far as toxic people, I take myself out of those situations. You have to. I mean, people say that I don't deal with people. Some people, I deal with a long handle spoon. I don't like being around people with a lot of drama. I don't, when people with drama, I'd be like, what? You on your own. Um, you're going to have to work that out. Like I said in the first one, anything that's going to pull me, I'm going to do away with it. Even if it's people, I'm just not going to let it happen. I can't allow myself to be toxic or be in a toxic situation. So that's what, to me, is even toxic people. Permanently out of my life? No. No. Those people that, that old timey, you got to deal with them with a long handle spoon. not, they will have you depressed and have you walking around with headaches and walking around with, I mean, that's why I'm a house. I don't go clubbing. I don't go to any of those other places because you have so many different energies in there. And times my energy is so sensitive. I mean, I have energy, but my energy, so I don't like putting myself in those situations. Don't, you know, what you think about it?
Myself included, I chose intermittent fasting and a regular 30-minute regimen in the morning, which includes the basic calisthenics of a push-ups and sit-ups on an incline bench, and then dumbbells for all the upper body core strength, and some dips and some stretching on the legs. And I will, and at times, include in my particular neighborhood, it's like a mile walk if you go around a certain circle. And if I'm walking the dog, that would be like the extent of my, my workout. And intermittent fasting would be eating around 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, having sort of almost like a fiesta of time where I go ahead and enjoy the food I want to have for that time of that day. And if later on in the evening I get a little bit hungry, then I'll move to some fruit, or I can even have a snack or something because I've had really one real meal in a day. So it allows me time and space to incorporate other things without feeling like I'm doing something that's not going to be healthy. Um, but the calories that are in that one sitting is not the average, like 2,500 or whatever the recommended is. I ended up consuming less calories as a result. I can enjoy that whole fiesta. I can be eating cake. I could be eating whatever during that time period. But that's my time period. The digestion itself, for me, I need that kind of time. So when I start and I eat around 2ish or so, by the time I go to bed, my stomach is empty. I don't have to worry about being uncomfortable or feeling like I got to be going to the bathroom, whatever that. Even when I get up in the morning, I'm pretty much starting fresh. So I feel good with that. And like I said, with the regimen I have in the morning of the exercise, before I eat anything, I'm not eating anything in the morning. I learned this from Mike Tyson, and a bodybuilder who said, don't eat anything in the morning when you work out because you're going to be burning what's already on you. So whatever I'm doing in that morning workout, it's eating away at what already is there. I'm not putting any carbs in or putting anything in and then trying to burn it off. Everybody has different metabolisms. And so for me, that works for my body type, my size. I also have to modify it because I had a hip replacement. So there's things that I have to do to alter that. And I have a difference in the height of my legs. I've brought a centimeter or a couple centimeters different. So I have to have a lift to help it even out. So there's things I have to do in addition to my weight being what it is. I've been as much as 250. I've been down to 220. Now I'm in like the 230. So my comfort level is 225 to 230, and I'm 5'11". That's my most optimal weight and functioning. I feel the strongest. I feel, you know, that's where I like to be as far as mobility and everything else is concerned. When it comes to toxic people, here's the thing. I've had a chance to be exposed to so many scenarios in which toxic people were a part of it. It becomes so much easier to identify a toxic person. We live in a society of a bunch of narcissists where every bit of gratification and every bit of attention is just a phone away. They don't have to worry that you don't give them attention because they got a pocket full of attention. So you're around a bunch of narcissists. For a large percentage of this world right now has become that. Obsessed with people looking at them, obsessed with people following them, obsessed with this, with people critiquing them and judging what they're doing, judging what they're dancing, and caring about what other people think about them all day long. I am not like that. I do not, and I say it all the time, I do not care what other people think about me, feel about me, want to know about me. No, I'm not like that. I don't really function on that level. I'm not really caring about what you think about me because that is not doing anything for me. It doesn't move the needle for me at all. People could totally dislike me. Keep it moving. You can like me. Appreciate it. It doesn't budge me. I'm like the rock. I'm not up or down on people's feeling about me. Oh, I hate him. Okay, cool. Nice to know you. Oh, I feel this way or that way. I appreciate the love, but I got a job to do. So I stay on point and I don't allow those things to kind of wave me around. You know what I'm saying? People too wavy. They ain't focused. And that creates consistency for my life. Consistency. I'm about consistency. When I do the GOAT fitness show, I do a small workout, but I always stress you gotta be consistent. I'm not trying to get you in here and wait. I'm a bench press 300 pounds. No, you can take a small amount, but just do it every day. Just do it consistently. Consistently eat the right amount. Consistently walk. Consistency is gonna regulate the body, regulate the muscle, and allow that body to stay in a certain tone. I like to call it uh, ready mode. So that's my key. That's how I approach the exercise. That's how I approach the the uh, the fitness um, and the toxic people. Now, again, this is not to say I don't have my own things that I need to work on. As a matter of fact, I always welcome the opportunity to work on something on my own. That's what I be telling people. I'm not trying to check you. I'm too busy working on myself. I'm too busy working on myself to critique you and critique what you got going on and whether you need to change this about yourself. And I tell the people the same thing. You need to be working on yourself. You ain't got time to be looking at me and worry about what I'm doing and worry about what's going on in my life. Check yourself. That's what my philosophy has always been. I respect you. I embrace you for who you are at the level you at now. You are you're a cigarette smoker. You a weed smoker. That's you. I love you for who you are at the level you at now. I ain't trying to change you, fix you, repair you, or none of that. I'm too busy working on myself, and I ain't got to be trying to fix you when I got to be fixing on myself to show you that I am in continuous work in progress. So no, I don't have the time. Again, I don't have that kind of time. Now, that's not being selfish. It's just understanding who I am and who I am not. More importantly, who I am not. I'm not the fix-it dude, and I'm doing all this. No, I'm not that dude. I'm not that dude. So I love people for who they are. I meet them where they at, and like I said, if I've lived in New York City, I've had cousins who were on heroin. They were nodding out while talking. I've had people who smoke weed, people who snort. I've been around everything. So nothing really is like a shock to me. Seeing people get shot, seeing people die in front of me, none of that moves me. So you have to have been around the block a couple of times. You got to have a little bit of, a little bit of dirt on you to really feel what I feel and how I feel. Am I a sensitive person? I probably am a very sensitive person for the right thing and for the right reason. Meaning sensitive as in I can have emotions for people. I'm not without emotion. But I also learned how to control my emotions, and I also learned when the emotions is or is not needed. Even sometimes when you have a daughter or daughters, and you can't be so hard on how to speak to them or treat them because they become very gentle with the words can hurt them. You could say something to your loved one that could hurt her. So you have to be cautious about what comes out your mouth before you let it come out your mouth, and think about how it's going to come off before it comes out your mouth. That's just me though. I ain't paying to be perfect. That's how I roll. So, and I don't know if I got the message through to someone, but someone need to hear that today. No. So here goes the next one. Nobody can play your role better than yourself. 5 minutes left in the game. What you got to say about that?
Okay. It goes back to what I like about those all. Um, your only competition is you. You don't have no competition is you. I tell people, look in the mirror. That's your only competition. Somebody could be me. I mean, somebody could have my name. Somebody could be just like me, but they never be me. Well, okay, I'm not gonna go there because it depends on what the men in another dimension. But that's for another show. But
Yeah.
nobody could be you, and people embrace. So everybody, nobody wants to bring original self. They want to, like young girls today. You ask them, and the first person they say is Nicki Minaj and Beyonce. You know, you never hear them say me. I want to be, and that's what we're lacking. And we got to start teaching them. It's okay to say that you want to be me, but they always want to be on TV, as opposed to teaching them. Look in the mirror and say, I want to be a better version of me. They're not teaching, and even adults, even adults nowadays are saying, I want to have money like Jay-Z. How about saying, I just want to have money like me, and work towards that goal to get Jay-Z money? But stop comparing yourself to other people and work on a better version of you. And until people start doing that, like people say, my hero. I put on Facebook, Shiro. I don't need nobody to be my hero. I have people that I admire, but I don't need nobody else to be my hero. I mean, I say my mom was the first God I knew because that's where I came out of, but I know that's a little deep for people. But people have to get back to knowing that it's you. Look in the mirror. And that's your competition, not your neighbor, not your best friend, sister. It's you. And when people master that, you good to go. Good to go. That was an
Yeah, that's
easy
the
one, a
title
short,
of
and
this
easy
show.
one.
Yeah, that's how you wrap up a show real quick. But that's why I titled this show that I am all I am. Like in the biblical teaching, it said, tell him I am sent you. Tell him who sent you. I am sent me. I am all I am. I am my inspiration. I am all I'm capable of being. All that is a possibility is just within me. I have to bring that out. That education is within me. I have to bring that out. I have to bring out the best
Right,
in me. I can't look for others to bring it out of me. It's
right,
in me. I have to dig deep. They can motivate, they can support, but it starts with you. It starts with you. Because if you're not going to make a dig or you're not going to go hard for yourself, you can't expect your cheerleaders or your support group to go hard for you when you're not going hard for yourself. It's just like when people say, I want to do better, but then they don't do better. And then when people turn away, they say, well, you didn't help me, you didn't support me. But it starts with you. It starts with you. If you pick up one rock and then they pick
right.
up another rock and then everybody picks up a rock and now together you build a building or a brick in this case, then you have a building. So I am all I am. Inspiration, motivation. It's always good talking to you, Queen Bee. We will continue to have these conversations for the people and for ourselves and everybody who's listening. We thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back again next week, same time, same station. I am all I am. At this time, 6 p.m. on Tuesday, and tune in on Thursday for Earning and Learning, back at Capital Earning and Learning. Thursday at 6 p.m. For all you people looking for that financial advice, we got you. All right. Thank you so much, Queen Bee. I appreciate you.
Come in, come on in. All right, peace, love, and light.
All right. So yeah, we had another great time, another great inspirational, motivational conversation, and we encourage you at all times to tap in with us. You can catch Inspiration and Motivation on Tuesday at 6 p.m. and Fat Cat Capital Earning and Learning on Thursday at 6 p.m. The other shows, there's so many of them. I don't want to mention it right now. We'll talk about it later. You take care. I'll see you soon. Peace. Stay woke.